Hello, my royal darlings, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome, of course, to my home. And today I'm going to be making a video about something that I don't normally talk about. But it is something that's piqued my interest, and I've possibly spotted a connection between two things. But I want to know what you think about it all as well. So, of course, what I'm talking about is the Meghan kind of fake baby rumour, baby bump, surrogate story that's been bandied around for many, many years. What was it? Moon bumps, all sorts of things. And I don't often talk about it because, one, we don't know for sure, but there's an interesting rumour coming out that I think we need to talk about. And like I say, I've spotted a connection. So it comes from Lady C. Now, I made a video about the first time that I watched a Lady C YouTube video, and that was a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago now. And that video did quite well, and people were saying, you should watch more Lady C. And I haven't, but I did see a clip of something that she said in a recent, I think it's a recent YouTube video about Meghan and this kind of fake pregnancy baby bump thing that's going on. Anyway, so what Lady C was saying or alluding to, this I thought was very interesting, is that something was going to come out about it from the royal family side, whether it be a royal family friend or a staff member, or from the royal family directly themselves, which I thought was very interesting. And usually with these sorts of things, I think to myself, well, take it with a pinch of salt. It could just be completely made up. Sources, what sources? Lady C never seems to, in anything I've seen, seems to kind of stipulate who or sort of where the sources are from. I can understand if you do have a source, why you would not want to reveal, but it doesn't kind of give that much confidence when it comes to something that hasn't actually been revealed yet, if that makes sense. So we're talking about something that she thought was going to come out soon, but now she's thinking, or she's heard rumours that it's going to come out later, perhaps even in the spring of next year. So, something. Why? I mean, I also read some of the comments, and people were thinking about, well, why wait? Why wait until the spring? If the royal family, whether it be a staff member, a family member, or whoever, if they've, or even a newspaper, if they've got something on Meghan now, why not release it? Why not reveal it now? And I think I may have an answer possibly to that. So I think there is also rumours about Meghan penning a memoir. So I don't think we've had any official confirmation on a memoir, but kind of in a similar style, I would imagine, to how Spare, Prince Harry's Spare, was created. Now, whether Meghan, if she is planning this, big if, but if she's planning a memoir, would she pen it herself, or would she have a ghostwriter and do it in the same style as Prince Harry? Again, these are lots of variables that we do not know. So if she is, let's work on the basis, on the assumption that Meghan wants her say and she wants to put forward her version of events. Not that we've heard enough. I mean, I think Harry pretty much covered the majority of everything from his point of view. So what more can Meghan really add to that? I'm not even sure. But anyway, if she is going to plan a memoir, ghost-written or otherwise, when might that likely come out? And what would the impact be? So the royal family, the courtiers, would probably again be kind of going, oh my goodness, what's going to come out? What's all the furore going to be? And probably may be a little concerned about probably more than a little concerned about what Meghan might include in a memoir. her version of events. And remember, the royal family are not going to put out their own version of events. They may leak a few things to the press, but they're not going to formally put out a book about it. So it very much is a one-sided effort. And of course, Meghan has to be very, very careful when writing a memoir that she doesn't come across too spiteful, too vindictive. That's already been aimed at Prince Harry with Spare, and already been aimed at Meghan as well. But to go further when they're, when they're trying, I think, to kind of move forward, but they're not really. They're always looping back to the past. They're always looping back to being the victim. And I don't think that being the victim is going to be a way forward for Harry and Meghan. It's pigeonholing them in a particular mind frame. They say one thing about moving on and blah, 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 and they haven't. They're kind of, all the things that are coming out are very much stuck in those years of being a royal. So they've very much, I think, still got an axe to grind. I don't think it's going to do them any good long term. I certainly don't think Harry's going to put out another book. I know he alluded to having 400 pages spare, pardon the pun, but I don't, after all the criticism he got, I think he can see. So I'm still not certain whether or not Meghan is going to pen or put out a memoir or not, or if she does, what the content of that is going to be. That said, it would be really good ammunition against a memoir of this nature to hold back some information that they might know. So let's just, for a moment, entertain the idea, and I'm not saying it's true, but let's just entertain the idea that there was a fake pregnancy, that she was wearing, a fake pregnancy tummy, moon bumps, all the rest of it. Let's just say that a surrogate was used. Now, first of all, there's nothing wrong with having a surrogate. Many couples, whether they're gay or straight or even, single people on their own, want to have families in different ways these days. And like I say, some people cannot have families the traditional way. So surrogacy is then comes into play, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. There's no shame in it. There's no stigma in it. It is something that is done in the modern age. So first of all, my first point is, why would they want to hide it in the first place? Would it be an issue of pride that Meghan couldn't carry a child? Again, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to highlight surrogacy for what it is, to talk about it, to use your voice, to talk about an issue that's actually very important. So I don't understand, first of all, why it would be hidden anyway. But it does kind of make sense with the level of control that they wanted and the secrecy surrounding Archie's birth. That kind of has always been a bit of a mystery. You could put it completely down to them just wanting privacy. But there could also be potentially an ulterior reason as well. So yes, if a surrogacy was used, and it was concealed, it was hidden, the impact of that is a lot greater for the position that Harry and Meghan are in. So yes, I do think that you have a right as an individual or a couple to have privacy regarding surrogacy. Lots of people who go through surrogacy might tell their own kind of a lot smaller circle of friends and family, or they might choose not to and just kind of be like, here, we've just had a baby, and the baby was born through surrogacy. Or they may not even choose to answer family questions or friend questions. Technically, it's not anyone else's business, really. But Harry and Meghan's position are a little bit different because of who they are. Their position does mean that they are different. And, they are not just kind of concealing or being private from, maybe 100 or 200 close friends and family. They would be hiding it from an entire nation, an entire commonwealth, an entire globe. So the level of deception goes up a notch. We're not just talking a few hundred people that might be in your circle of friends. We're talking millions, billions of people that you are concealing. And, it becomes a much bigger level of deception. So rather than kind of taking the easy route and just being very open and honest about it, confronting it, and basically, doing what royals do, using, issues, other people's issues, or using your own issues, and raising awareness of a subject and destigmatizing, or, changing people's perceptions, giving people more information about an issue. So if there was a surrogate involved and they hid that from people, there was a missed opportunity in educating people and, again, further destigmatizing that. But perhaps egos came into play and, they went down the route of hiding. Now, of course, this is all up in the air at the moment. None of this has been confirmed as being true. But if royal family members obviously would have known about this, courtiers would have known about this, perhaps they are biding their time to release this information. If Meghan penned a book and its release has been put back that we don't know about, and maybe it's intended for the spring, maybe this is what Lady C has heard, that perhaps Meghan's memoir could come out in the spring. It could be a shutdown piece. It could be a deflection piece of information that's been held back by the palace to put out whenever anything erupts majorly from Meghan. Because, of course, if Meghan was not to put about the surrogacy in her memoir, people would be like, well, why aren't you telling us this? But I think the palace would also have to back it up with, evidence that there was a surrogacy, that there was a level of conspiratory behaviour to conceal the pregnancy from, or how, Archie and potentially Lilibet came into the world. It's all a big what if. Lady C definitely thinks that there is something coming. I've just kind of put two and two together, taken the kind of rumours about Meghan's potential memoir and kind of linked them together to the spring. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think that there ever was a surrogate? Why do you think? What are the main reasons why you think Harry and Meghan would have wanted to conceal it if there was? And like I said, there's no shame in it. There's no shame. If they couldn't carry their own child, there's nothing wrong. One thing I know people are going to be talking about is what would the impact be if Archie and Lilibet were born of surrogacy. What would the impact be on titles and styles, line of succession, that kind of thing? Well, as far as I'm aware, in United Kingdom royal history, there has not been a child born of surrogacy, and there hasn't been, I suppose, an adopted child in the sense of like legally adopted. There has been, obviously, royal family members have been custodians of other, probably nobility's children in the past. But when it comes to surrogacy, this is an entirely new thing. I think what it boils down to is the phrasing of body, or heirs of body. And I think it depends how the law would interpret of body. Personally, I think as long as it's Harry's sperm, we're going to get technical now, as long as it's Harry's sperm and it's Meghan's egg that have been combined in a lab and put into a surrogate as a host surrogate, that to me is a blood child of both parents. So I think that if Archie and Lilibet were born this way, then it wouldn't affect the line of succession or their styles and titles at all. If the interpretation is born of body, then that potentially could affect it because it wouldn't have been born of Meghan's body. But I don't think that route would be taken. And it wouldn't take much, I think, to clarify that with either letters patent to kind of add an additional context to it, and also, you could check with Parliament to make sure that all of that was legal and above board. Adoption is entirely different. Like I say, we haven't had that arise yet within the royal family. I think it's different for adoption because they wouldn't be of body, if that makes sense. So I think if a child was adopted, I don't think they would be permitted to be in the line of succession, but under letters patent, permission obviously from Parliament as well, with their agreement, I do think that a child adopted, let's just say, for example, William and Catherine adopted a child. I don't think that child would be in the line of succession, but I do think that they could take on the HRH. I do think they could take on a courtesy title like Prince whatever of Wales, but not in the line of succession. I think that could be clarified with letters patent as well. So basically, if Archie and Lilibet were revealed to be born via surrogacy, I don't think it would make any difference to their title styles and place within the line of succession. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts and comments on all of this. Do you think Lady C is correct? Do you think something will come out in the spring? Do you think it will be about surrogacy? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media. And of course, do hit that bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So from me, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.